Hello?
There you go. Yeah. Move it as close as, like, not like all the way, but close as possible.
Like that, yeah?
Perfect. Yeah.
Cool.
Boom. Thank you for coming. Are you
You're
nervous
welcome.
at all? You could be honest.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I've ever done this, so.
It gets funnier for me because now I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm used to it. But the more this is like usually my chair. So I just sit, I'm relaxed. I know what I'm going to say. I already memorized my questions, done my research. So I'm prepared. I know you probably have no
I know,
clue
I'm like, and I don't know what
whatsoever.
you're about to ask.
Okay. But so I brought this one because a friend got it for me for my birthday, but also they live in Pittsburgh. And two of my friends that I went to high school with actually played on that team. So it's like a semi-pro kind of team. So there's different like leagues. Like MLS is like the top American league. Then there's like USL 1, USL 2. So there's like other semi-pro leagues before you get to like the MLS. So they play for this team. So this is the only soccer-related memorabilia or shirt jersey that I kind of have because I don't buy them anymore.
Yeah.
So I bought it because I know you're Colombian.
Okay,
So please go further into why and how Colombians take soccer so much seriously than the rest of the world.
Wow, that's a good question. So, I mean, I remember growing up every single time my parents would be watching soccer somehow. Okay. And I think that what it is that we grow up playing sports. Soccer is one of them. Football. It's not it's not soccer, it's football. But yeah, I don't know. I think we're just really passionate people. So, you know, a lot of our teams, you know, there's the different cities that have their different teams. So it's like rivals and everyone's all excited. But I don't know. It's just like a passion thing. Soccer is our number one sport. So.
Could you name Colombian soccer teams? You can't?
I mean, no, like. No, I'm not
just
a
the
big soccer.
team.
I should be, and a lot of people assume that because I'm Colombian. I should know. To be honest, it's my least favorite sport. Yeah, I know, which is so crazy.
Okay.
I feel it's my least favorite sport. I feel to watch. Sometimes I feel like I don't really know what's going on, and they're just maybe because I don't understand it. I don't know, but yeah.
Do your parents know this?
My parents know, yeah.
Okay,
my mom is literally number one fan of Real Madrid. And I'm like, Mom, she keeps up with everything, the players. She calls my dad. She's like, did you know blah, 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 this player? And I'm like, what?
I used to be heavily into that myself. So I played soccer for 15 years, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I know you probably would not have thought that.
I mean, I didn't know. Yeah, that's crazy.
So I guess that's true. I have to remember you may not even know that much about me because we've only met one time officially.
I know, I'm like skating, right? We need to take up skating again, though.
So I can't skate.
But you need to practice.
I'm only thinking of my childhood memories of me trying to skate. So I used to go to roller rinks as a kid and whatnot, but I don't know what it was. I just never got like the balance or the footing down. So when did you start to, I guess, skate? Like, how did skating become like a hobby of yours?
Yeah, so since I was young, I got roller blades. I always forget the difference. Okay, so roller blades, not roller skates. Yeah, so the inlines. And I just grew up being on those, just hanging out outside with my friends. And that's pretty much it. And then just continued on. High school, college, just having my blades. And then probably 2 years ago, I got my first quads.
That's the 4?
Yeah, the 4.
Okay.
And that's why I go to the skating rink, because I'm trying to practice. But I don't even know how to stop on those things. Like, people that say those are easier, I'm like, maybe because you grew up with them, but I didn't, and they're harder.
So you're telling me when I went to the skating rink to say hi to you guys because I couldn't skate.
Yeah.
It makes more sense now why you guys were skating so long because you didn't know how to stop.
Yeah, we just kept going. I didn't. Did you not notice I kept bumping into the walls to stop?
I'm not going to say that. I was just going to say I didn't know you, so I was just like confused. I was like, why did you keep stopping?
I was like, look, at this point, we just keep going. We just keep going around and around. But I guess because I'm used to skates stopping like the back wheel, you lift it up and then the brake is in the back with blades. Sorry. With quads, you brake either the front or people know how to stop somehow.
Okay. I don't know what it is. I think it's my center of gravity. Like I'll fall just face first.
No, you need to practice. And a lot has to do with skates too. If you get the ones that you rent out at the rink, they're crappy ones. So they're not stable and you feel like you're going to fall. So a lot has to do with your skates, the quality.
That could be another reason. Because I'm not bought expensive skates whatsoever. Me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes they could just be crappy and you're just going to be wobbling and you're like, this is terrible. But it's more about the skates. Not you. So we'll have to try that again.
So tell me if this is weird though, because I can skateboard, I can ripstick, I can snowboard, I can't skate. Like I can't ice skate or roller skate.
I think you can't skate because like I said, yes, because if you can if you can skateboard, if you could do all those things, then you could probably skate.
What if you could somewhat describe the technique?
Excuse me.
God bless. If you could somewhat describe the technique, how is the footing go? Is the balance? What's like the trick? What's the secret?
I don't think there's a secret. To be honest, I'm not the best teacher when it comes to that. I don't know, just balance. I would say the number one thing for me is the quality of skates.
Okay.
So if you get nice ones, you'll feel more like secure. Okay. You're not going to feel wobbly. You get the ones at Target, they're crappy, and you're going to fall. I'm going to fall.
Okay. I'll use that as my new excuse.
I'm serious.
Like, whenever you ask, do you want to go skating? I'm going to say, I can't. They're crappy skates.
Hold on, I have to, yeah.
Can't use them. So please inform me, if you, as a Colombian, don't like soccer, like it's like the least favorite sport, what are your favorite sports?
I used to be into sports a lot more. Basketball was my number one to watch. But to be honest, I don't even watch TV like that anymore. So.
Why not?
I don't know. And if I do, I'm watching. Guilty pleasure. I'm watching like some Love Island. I'm watching those type of shows, and I keep up with those shows because, my girlfriends watch it. So it's like something to talk about. But yeah, if I'm going to be sitting at home, I'm probably not going to be watching a game unless it's like some big event. Like, again, I will always keep up with Colombia playing the World Cup or whatever other games that they have.
Okay.
So I'm always going to have my jersey when Colombia plays, but I'm not going to tell you like, oh yeah, like anything about, I don't know anything. I'll show up though.
You play the part well. I'm not going to lie. Because I
know
when Colombia, they had like, I don't know if like Colombia had it, but there was like events and whatnot over at Armature Works when they were playing, was it Copa America?
I think so. The one that just passed.
Yes, and I wanted to pop out, not gonna lie, because the environment looked dope. That was just a bunch of y'all. I could see Colombians just screaming and being loud. I like environments like that.
Yeah, and I went to basically every single one of the games. It's super fun.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, not like in person. No, to watch. No, excuse me. No, I didn't.
Got it.
To go watch the games with my friends, but. Yeah, I'm always going to be rooting for my country, but I don't really keep up with sports.
Dang. Can you name 3 Colombian players?
James Rodriguez.
Besides him. I knew that was the number one person you were going to say.
Yeah. No, I'm really so bad. That's how basic. I just really don't know.
That's okay.
I know what they look like. I can tell you, but like. I know I'm so bad with names and like all of that.
I understand that. You could tell the faces and probably the numbers and how they play.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh yeah, he's a Colombian player, but I forgot his name. Like Diaz. Mm-hmm. Diaz. I don't know his first name though.
Okay, that's common though. That's like a soccer thing.
Yeah, I'm like Diaz.
That makes sense. So, having soccer as one of the least favorite sports. What are other things that are very highly praised in Colombia that people may not know about? Because now I'm finding out you're not the biggest soccer fan.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
you look
sorry.
like it. You know what I'm saying? But like, what are some other things that Colombians do love like that?
Okay. I mean, we love our music. We love dancing. We love food, and we love coffee. What else do we love? I think that we're very big on family. Family and friends we take very serious. You know, if we call you a friend, it's like deep. It's that deep. It's not just like a passing, like, oh, that's my friend. No, that's my friend. And I think that's like the biggest thing is that we're very, I don't know, we're very loving. We're very friendly, and we take relationships serious of all sorts. Like, my parents have friends, and they've had them for 40 years.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, like, it's like...
That's pretty cool.
From when they were little to now, and it's like friends. I don't know. That's just something that we pride ourselves on.
They take friendship serious.
Yeah.
I like that, though. So I'm from Maryland originally. The DMV. Do you know anything about the DMV?
No, that was the first state that we went to when we came from Colombia.
Oh.
My mom's best friend lived in Maryland, and we went to visit when I was 5.
All right.
For Christmas.
You remember that?
I do remember that, yeah. I do.
You're like the first person that I know that also remembers her childhood.
Yeah, just probably that was like, because it was a pivotal point in our lives, I think, coming to the States for the first time. But Maryland, that's where we went, and it was raining, or not raining, it was snowing really bad, cold.
So it definitely was winter.
Yeah, Christmas time.
Yeah. So the part of, I guess, Maryland I grew up in was predominantly African American.
Okay.
So the mandatory question that I usually ask people, because I'm from Maryland, which is pretty big in Maryland, in the area I grew up in, was cookouts. So the mandatory question is, knowing that you love food, but I'm just interested. If we were to go to a cookout, let's say we brought AG, JE, even Cliff. I don't know if you know who Cliff is.
Yeah.
But we're just going to a cookout. What are you going to bring? You have to bring, like, you know, a tray or a pan of something.
Oh, my God.
What are you bringing?
What am I bringing?
What are you bringing?
To a cookout?
It's a serious question.
You know what? Oh, that's a good...
Whatever you want.
Question.
It has to be something that you like. It can't just be something
just
that,
so it
you know
sounds
what I'm saying?
good.
There
Yeah.
you go. Something that you honestly would bring to a cookout.
That's a hard question, just because, to be honest, I don't know how to cook any of that, like, soul food. I really don't. I wish I did.
Wait, what kind of food? What'd you say?
Yeah, like that yummy food. Is it not soul food? Is that what you would consider it, or no?
1 second.
What? Is that bad? All right, cut it off if it's embarrassing.
Oh, my goodness.
Is it not? What's so funny?
Because...
Wait, do you need to cut it off? If he puts me on blast on Instagram, I'm gonna cry.
No. I'm only laughing because you said soul food. Usually, of course, it can be soul food. Definitely.
That's what I pictured though.
Yeah. This is why I asked the question.
Oh,
because
gosh.
usually it's just funny to hear what whoever
reactions
says. You know, because they don't know. Because it's either a barbecue or soul food. You're correct. But
I pictured soul food because when I picture cookout, that's what I picture.
Got it. But I just wanted to know what you would bring. It doesn't have to be.
Because cookout to us is different than yours.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so.
in any, like, just what would you bring? You don't have to cater to the cookout.
Know. Yeah.
What
Okay.
would you
Something
bring?
randomly.
That's unique to you.
Oh my God.
You know?
That is a good question. Honestly, so we have this drink. Does it have to be food, or can it be drink?
It can be a drink.
Okay.
This is different. Keep
so
going.
we have a drink. It's called refajo.
Wow.
Okay, so what you do is you have beer, and then it's like a cola drink, and you mix those two together, and it makes refajo.
Okay. What is that? Does that mean anything in English, or?
No, refajo, I don't know how to translate that at all. But it's basically beer and a cola mixed together, and you put a little bit more beer than soda, or you can put more soda than beer, however you want. I don't like sweet stuff, so I put more beer. But that's usually what we have for our barbecues.
Okay.
And I like bringing that places because people don't expect it. That's what comes to mind with drinks. Food, I don't know. I don't know what I would bring in a cookout.
Anything.
I don't know.
Whatever you could cater something to bring.
Oh, cater.
Just what would you bring? If you could cook something, what would you bring? If you could cater something, what would you bring? Try not to think these people are soul food eaters. Just what would you bring? What would you want to bring?
That's not a bad assumption.
I know it's not. It was just funny because you said it.
I mean, I don't know. Why am I thinking like Thanksgiving food? I'm thinking Thanksgiving food.
There's literally one food that I'm dying for you to say, and I hope you say it, but I know you're not.
What?
Plátanos.
Oh, yeah, plátanos?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
you could bring anything.
Okay, so plátanos, but then a Colombian version, what we do is we have the full, if you guys don't know what it is, it's a plantain, which is a form, I guess, it's in the banana family, but it's not a fruit. True. Yeah, but it's part of that same thing. And you can make it savory or sweet, depending if it's ripe or not. But anyways, what we do is we bake it. You open it like this, like halfway, and then you put cheese in it. And then you bake it again. So it's like
sounds like
cheese.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, no. An arepa is different. But yeah, you put like cheese in the middle of the plátano, and it is so good. And then we can also put like guava, which is also a fruit. So you mix those two with the sweet and the savory. It's so good. That's what I would bring. That's a good idea. So refajo en plátano con queso y guayaba.
Can you say that again?
Okay, refajo, which is beer with a soda, okay? And then plátano with queso y guayaba. Cheese and guayaba. Guava.
I'm just thinking of how it looks. Yeah, we would love you.
Yeah, it's so good. It is so good.
We would mess that up. But back on the Maryland convo. I'm trying to think how we even got there.
Because you said something about, I don't know what you said, but then you was laughing at me because I said it was soul food.
Because I'm trying to think. Because you were saying, oh, your parents, the friends. Oh, so
yeah. So when we first came here.
Yeah, so in the DMV, like a part of Maryland where I'm from, PG County, Prince George's County, same deal. So like people take that friendship very seriously. Where it's like, if you are kind of weird, they won't talk to you. Just because it's like they could see you may be around just for transactional benefit instead of like, okay, I'm around this person to actually try to help them with life or just even help them with homework, just help them be a better athlete, better person, better whatever. And like we take that so serious from there. So it was very different for me when I came here that it didn't feel the exact same. Mm-hmm. When did you come to Florida?
So I moved from Utah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I moved from Utah about, I'm coming up actually 4 years. 4 years, yeah.
So you haven't been here that long.
I haven't been here that long, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But I can relate on a lot of levels with that. Mm-hmm. I feel that. And I think especially from my roots. Okay. Not so much Utah. I feel like I have my own opinion about that as well and people there. But yeah, I feel like I've always taken friendship so serious and some people just don't. Mm. And they will let you know that quickly. That sucks.
I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah, it's like friend breakups are just as sad as real breakups, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. So I like, okay, those terms, like love languages, friend breakups, I was not used to those terms until I came to Florida.
Oh, really?
Or even like, you know how when people say when you have a break in a relationship, that does not exist.
Yeah.
That is not like a thing.
I don't believe in that.
Me
you
either.
Break up, you break
up.
I
really don't understand that concept.
Yeah.
Because I know it's usually the other person, won't go too deep in
that.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's not a break. Y'all are breaking up.
Won't go too deep in that. But no, just like even the culture of the states, the difference between Maryland and Florida for me, there's a lot of like lingo and slang, and music is different in Maryland. Yeah. The food for sure. We got a bunch of soul food and hot wings. They're known for wings, different sauces, crabs, and seafood.
Okay.
Now, I know from when we were at the roller skate rink, you mentioned to me that there's just certain type of foods that you do like to eat. Is there reasons why you don't like sweets? And then I guess like what foods do you just absolutely despise?
Okay, so I think growing up, my parents have always been pretty healthy and just conscious of certain things. And my mom always did her best to, whenever she made a meal, she would have, something like meat, the vegetable, and the grains. She would have a balanced meal. So growing up, I've always had that. But then I've always just been really curious about health stuff, food, nutrition, working out, chemicals and things, all of that. So I feel like because I've read so many things, it's hard for me to enjoy sweets because through the years I haven't really ate that much sweets. So then my body doesn't like it.
Got it.
Yeah. I feel like once you eat something so much, then your body gets used to it and you're adapted to it. But I've done the opposite with sweets and certain things where because I don't consume them, the moment I have something like a dessert or something, I'll go somewhere, someone will order a dessert and I'll have a bite and I'm done. Because if I have more, I'm like, that's too sweet. I don't like it.
Got it.
So, yeah, I think just when you know a lot or when you read a lot, it just kind of changes. I don't really crave that stuff anymore.
That makes perfect sense. That does make perfect sense.
Yeah.
Man, like, as far as ingredients go food-wise, because I've been to Europe. I've been at different places in Europe, and I'm not going to lie, I will only go back just for the food because it was so good. But just, of course, knowing the ingredients that they use is so much healthier for you than the U.S., we lost weight when we were over there. Like, we lost 8 to 10 pounds each person. And we ate as much as we wanted to.
Right.
But is Colombia the same way in the context of just, like, what ingredients they like to use?
Yeah, so absolutely Colombia is the same way. We are definitely farm-to-table type of country. So you get the potatoes there, and they're going to be, like, dusty, like muddy, because it's coming from the farm straight to the little market down the street from your house. I feel like every time I go there, I indulge more than I do here in certain things like bread. I probably will have desserts out there. I'll eat. I probably won't work out as much as I do here, but I come back leaner. And I feel like, I'm like, wait, how? Because here in the States, I'll work out consistently. I'll eat clean. I'll meal prep. I'll do these things. But then it's like the quality of the food, and it really does make a difference. Like the grains there don't make you feel all bloated. And here you have pasta, and I'm like bloated for 3 days. Like, I've been to Greece, but I haven't been to like Italy and those places to have pasta. I hear the pasta there is so much different.
Have to do it.
Yeah. So
have to do it.
I believe it. It's just ingredients, and unfortunately, slowly Colombia and different places are changing their ways to more of that unfortunate, like the fake processed food, GMO.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Because I've noticed it with Colombia too. It's like slowly.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like, not to get into like anything crazy, but I feel like it is cheaper, or like they do certain things on like the back end, like the government has taken some of the natural resources that maybe it was like farmers and stuff, they wipe all those places out and they make it more commercialized for faster crops, faster production. I mean, there's a lot of people. So I feel like that's just what's happened. They just don't want natural anymore. It's not like cost effective, and it's probably not as fast as they want it to be. I'm not sure.
Gosh, I was about to go on like a tangent Just because.
Oh, we can talk about this all day.
Because like it was like a couple of things I was thinking of. One, right, the craziest thing that I learned, one of the craziest things I learned in school was the reasons why sometimes a lot of fast food places are in more lower income areas. Obviously, is because it's like cheaper and whatnot. But that's where they also plant hospitals because people can't afford like better food. So obviously you're gonna get sick quicker. You're just not gonna feel good. You're right next to a hospital, money.
Yeah.
And so like it seems like it's set up and whatnot. But what it made me think of was, dang, okay, in Colombia, the same thing slowly starting to happen a little bit. Is it because of money or like the love of money? And so me, I'm a faith-based person. So I was gonna ask you, are you in the faith at all, or like, yes, no, maybe so?
Yeah. So I grew up going to church. Thank God my mom was so loving and kind of gave me the option, but I was always drawn to going to church with her. And I went to church camp. I would do all those things and go, to church every Sunday and just be more like in the Bible, I feel like, at a younger age, because you have that childlike faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still, I wouldn't say I'm so into like the Bible as much as I used to be. Just life sometimes happens. But overall, yeah, I believe in God. I'm never going to deny that. And it's good to have that foundation and know that we may fall short, but we're still enough somehow.
Gotcha. I like, because the tangent I was going to go on was literally on those kind of lines. I was definitely going to mention some like biblical references, but I was like, will she even know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I was just making sure.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that it's special when people still have those conversations. Some people don't like talking about that. So I could see why you were kind of like
because the first thing that I was thinking of, my biggest pet peeve already is being around and seeing kind of like two-faced people. I wouldn't say hypocritical in a sense, but two-faced where they know they're two-faced and they'll never admit to being it. So they kind of just like reek of chaos in a sense, and they will never admit to like, oh, I messed up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So just thinking of, I guess, the agriculture in places that are kind of known for healthier ingredients, that may be changing because there's money involved, or like, the faster you move, the more money you get. That just made me think like, dang, sometimes the love of money is a lot more powerful than being authentic, which is scary to me.
100%.
Because I thrive off of being original and authentic. You know what I mean? So that was just where my mind went.
Yeah. No, and I get it. But a lot of times I feel like, I've seen it in people I know. They get a little bit of money and they switch up. They don't know you anymore. They don't really associate with people that are on the same vibe. And I get it. You are kind of who you surround yourself with. So I get if certain people have to maybe distance themselves or whatever. But I feel like we should always just be a little more humble and not be like that. I think that money should add to who you are, not change who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like, of course, me talking about money from being a person who hasn't really had much of it at all, of course, I'm going to have a different perspective and opinion from like other people and whatnot. But of course, again, my faith and belief, there's a scripture that talks about seek first his kingdom, seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you.
Yeah.
And so I'm 25. I don't think I've seen more than $20,000, which may sound crazy, but I do pretty well for myself individually now. Thank the Lord. I could do a backflip thinking about it. But I know that other people I had the opportunity to make so much more money or seen a lot more money in general, to where I don't know what that looks like mentally. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it looks like to where maybe you make your first million and then you're feeling like a hot shot, or you feel like you can spend on anything. I don't know what that's like. But I think it sounds so weird to say. I feel like I've been blessed so long to be broke a certain amount to where I don't really care too much about money anymore. And I like it. I love it. Because, like, if someone were to offer me money for something, I still look at it from the standpoint of, like, is this going to help me? Is this going to help other people first before, you know, the money is going to come regardless, and I'll be okay. It'll be added onto me if I seek the kingdom and his righteousness first. That's just how I, like, viewpoint it. But from a money standpoint in general, I know that you were doing real estate for some time. I don't know if you're going to pick it back up or not, but please tell me how you even got into it at first.
Yeah, so that is a big God moment for me, I feel. If there's one thing that I can kind of pinpoint in the last couple of years that has been a turning point, it was when I started real estate. And I'll backtrack a little bit how I even got there. I've always just been pretty like a butterfly, just like wherever life takes me. I don't take life serious. I never really wanted to be a doctor or anything specific, but I went to school and just kind of hoped that I would figure out what I wanted to do, and found out school wasn't really for me. So I've just been really open to different things and different jobs and stuff. So a few years ago, I'm like, I love traveling. Let me try to be a flight attendant. Why not? You know?
Wow, all right.
I love flying. Well, I don't love flying. Let me take that back. As much as I love traveling, flying is like literally not my favorite. But traveling part. So I'm like, why not get paid and have the option to travel the world? Like, they get benefits. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have kids. I don't have anything that's holding me down.
Mm-hmm. Why'd you say it like that?
Yeah, like, I don't have anything. And this is a couple years ago, okay? But in my head, I was like, this is the perfect time to.
Yeah.
So I went to flight school.
Okay.
And when I tell you, it's like how I even got there was, in my head, I was like, oh, this is it, God. Like, this is what you want me to do. This is, like, where I'm supposed to be. Everything, the job was just easy. Like, I wouldn't say easy, but everything was just the way it needed to be for me to even get to be in class and be in flight school. So I was like, okay, this is it. I'm in flight school. It's, for the people that have done it, they know it's literally crash course, and it's freaking hard. Like, they make you memorize 8 planes in less than freaking 24 hours. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's insane. It tested my brain. But the way it all happened was just like, oh, like, we got the uniforms. I was so excited. I was passing my exams. So happy about it. And the really big exam that I had to pass, I failed by 1 question. We had a retake, though. Okay. So I was like, oh, we're good. Like, I know this. If it's by 1 question, I know this. I'm going to pass it. But God was like, no, ma'am, you're not going to. Because the next day, I retook the test, and I failed it by 1 question again.
Was it the same question?
I don't think it was. And I was like, there's no way. It's almost just like when, and I feel like God has such a sense of humor sometimes, because he'll be like, here's this, but then, like, this is not really, like, this is what you think you want, but this isn't really what I have for you. You know? And then it's, like, kind of like that little picture. Have you seen that picture on the internet where it's, like, God has a little teddy bear and the little girl's, like,
oh, yeah.
You know, like, she wants a little teddy bear, but then God has, like a bigger one. And she's, like, not patient enough to wait for the bigger one.
Yep.
Kind of like that. So in that moment, I was kind of, like, mad. I was like, why bring me this whole way to take it away, in a sense, and kind of be embarrassing about it? Like, 1 question. So I was, like, really upset. Whatever. I got released from flight school because you had to pass, right? And I was like, oh, this is, like, absolutely terrible. In that time, one of my friends was in real estate. And she's like, why don't you just come to the office? Come and see if this is something you want to do. And I was like, real estate? I don't know. And then I went, and I think that was a redirection I needed, because later on I found out flight school and flight attendant was not going to be for me at all. All my friends that graduated heard stories, and it wouldn't be for me. Like, I do not do well with people telling me, like, what to do and stuff like that. And I feel like up in the air, people being like, can you get me water? And I'd be like, you get it. You know? Like, I don't know.
Danny.
I just feel like I wouldn't. I'm just
even
being
as a flight attendant, though?
Yeah, like, I just feel like I don't like that. And
oh, my God.
I would have been professional nonetheless, but I just don't really feel like that would have been for me. So as much as I wanted it so bad, it's like God was like, nah.
He said absolutely not.
He said, no, ma'am. You're about to get in a fight up in the air somewhere.
Yeah, 45,000 feet, whatever high airplanes are. Jeez.
But yeah, plot twist, I feel like that was the redirection I needed in that time to be put somewhere else.
Okay.
So I went and shadowed, I guess, got to know the team, and it, you know, it was good for the moment to transition and let me see that I wanted something else.
Was this all in Utah?
This was all here.
This was all here?
Yeah, this was literally 3 years ago.
Yeah. This was recent.
Yeah, it was recent.
Okay. Now I got a better timeline in my head.
Yeah.
Dang. So
3 years ago. Yep.
So this was here in Tampa or
yeah, this
Florida?
was here in Tampa. Yep.
Okay.
Went to flight school in Orlando. And
oh shoot.
Yeah. And then was here, and yeah, I think that
you weren't in flight school when we were at the roller skating rink, were you?
No.
Okay. I'm just thinking now.
That was like a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is a
while back. I was already like in real estate and all of that.
That was a year ago. Oh shoot.
It was a long time ago.
Dang.
But yeah.
Time was fast.
That's kind of how it happened. It wasn't something that, well, actually, probably like 7 years ago in Utah, I did try to start real estate too. But I was like, it was my early 20s. I was not about to be actually focused on a job like that. Like, you have to put yourself out there. You have to be consistent. You have to. And I was not about to do that in my 20s. So.
And the market's hard right now. And especially over here. The market's hard right
now.
Mm.
I don't know. I think I'm just in a different headspace right now. It's not something that I was really passionate about it when I started, and I was excited and I was good at it and everything. But with everything, I feel like you need supporting people that support you around you and like a team. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have the right people, then you're not going to feel like you're going to thrive. So that's kind of where I was like, you know what? I don't really want to do real estate right now. Yeah. So I paused it, and maybe you guys will see me later on, but and if you do want a house, let me know.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Let me know. Yeah. Actually, a lot of my friends are still in the business, so we can work something out. But
you're plugged in. It's a plug, low key. I know the craziest part is the guest that I had yesterday said, like, he was also in flight school, ironically enough, and he actually backed out because he said he could feel like his full heart was not in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
So he was just like, it wouldn't even be right to continue. Like, he's almost like forcing himself to do something, even though he put a lot of time in it, you know? So it's just like, well, we were laughing about it because he was like, my heart wasn't in it. And then we were laughing because it was like, that's a good decision for everyone. Because if you got a pilot that's not fully, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but knowing that.
That's good he realized that, though.
He did. He realized it after 3 years, I believe. After 3 years. But knowing that from people that I hear, I guess, me too included, that your heart has to be in like what you love to do, obviously. What do you even like to do outside of work, traveling? You know what I mean? Like, what hobbies do you actually have outside of the main things that we see you actually do on social media?
What do I do? I mean, I feel like you see a lot of me on social media. Like, if I'm rollerblading, you see. If I'm traveling, you're gonna see. I don't post every workout, but that's probably something that I do really consistently. And I'm taking up running recently.
Have you done run clubs at all?
I was supposed to go yesterday, but it was raining. So coming soon, I will be joining Tampa Run Club. But yeah, running. I like trying new things. So whatever new activity, whatever new thing I can get my hands on, and
Okay.
love doing that.
Okay. Got a couple questions that just literally randomly popped in my head now you said that. So Cliff, Athlete Innovations. I think after like combine season, I don't know when, but I think we're gonna invite some run clubs out to do I think some sort of like boot camp workout. Would you want to join?
So down. I do a boot camp Monday and Saturday.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. And she's killer, and
Where's this at?
It's Crunch, Tampa Palms.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she's a beast, and I love all of that. That's kind of why I started running too, because I feel like I'm pushing myself more than I did in the past. I feel like running is such a mental thing, and I used to think like, why do people run? But I get why people run. It's like you push yourself even when it's hard, you keep going, and then you feel so much better at the end because you did it. Runner's high is a real thing.
Oh, I know. I actually hate it.
It's a real thing.
I hate runner's high because shout out to Zash. She's actually half Colombian as well. But, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say she's Puerto Rican, and it's something about Latinos.
She's half Colombian and half Puerto Rican? Oof.
Nice. That's just loca.
No, that's a great mix. That's like the
Loca.
perfect mix, honestly.
But like her ambition and determination is through the roof. So she'll get like injured and just brush it off. Like crazy injuries, like hamstring purple. Oh, I gotta game tomorrow. What are you doing? Like that's how she is. But there was one time where we're at Sparkman Wharf, and so out of nowhere she's like, "We gotta get a run in. It's 11:30 p.m. Why are we running right now?" I'm like, fine, let's do it. So we run. It's like 1.3 miles, but at probably like halfway through, my back starts to hurt. So I stop for a sec. I'm like, yo, let's just walk for a little bit. He's like, no, come on.
That's
So
me when I run.
I keep going, but then when I hit the runner's high, she didn't have it. So I'm like, come on, let's just finish. She's like, we gotta stop. I'm like, no, like I can't. I'm actually finally in it now. But it takes me a little while to get there.
But you do. And that's when I started like running, because I'm like, I don't know why people want to run. Like that makes no sense. Until one day I hit that and I felt it and I was like, wow.
Do you know the mark
amazing.
Or like how many miles you had to run first before you got it?
No, I have no idea. To be honest, I wouldn't be able to tell you like time or miles or anything. I just run until it feels good for me.
Dang, that is mental.
Yeah. And then that's not even, I'm not saying I run miles and miles and miles. It's just whatever I feel like that day. And maybe eventually I will start timing it and being a little bit more, kind of keeping that in mind and trying to get better. But right now I'm just kind of enjoying.
Next activity.
This is new.
Topgolf. Would you go to Topgolf if we had a Topgolf outing?
I'm down. I love Topgolf.
Can you golf?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
I can. Golf, not really.
Not
but Topgolf, yeah, I can.
Holes.
If you're asking if I can hit the ball, I can.
Like not just hit it,
I'm pretty good, I would say. Not like your expectation needs to be like here.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm not gonna like not hit it and just be embarrassing.
Me and JE be trying to hit the back fence type deal.
Oh no, I don't think I have that. I don't think I have that strength, but I'm pretty. I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll bring you next time. Bowling. Can you bowl?
I can. I'm not a big bowler because not to be that girl, but I break my nose every time. And these are natural, okay?
Stay away from that activity.
And so I don't really feel like bowling is worth breaking my natural nose. But whenever I do have the desire to, yeah, I love bowling.
Okay. I'm literally on mental maps right now thinking of stuff to do. Is there anything in the Tampa area that you have yet to like try or explore yet?
So I think it's on Ocala, so a little bit further out that way. Zip lining.
Oh, shoot.
I've never done zip lining, but that is like...
Never? Not even in Colombia? Whoa.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I was going to this time around, but I didn't, and that's like top on my bucket list of things to do.
If you have a bucket list, what's like your top 5? Zip lining?
Yep. So zip lining, bucket list, I have like, and it's like all different categories.
All right, you okay? This is what I need to know. This is what I'm trying to get to.
So bucket list, yeah, zip lining, riding a camel in Egypt is definitely like top. In that same little category, I would say anything to do with Egypt. That's just top. I need to go to Egypt.
Why Egypt?
There's so many reasons. I love the idea of just their culture, their music, their food.
How do you know so much about it?
I mean, when you like something, you look into it, you know? Like, all my feed on Instagram is literally Egypt, because I'm always looking up stuff. Or Egypt or Middle East. Like, Egypt is kind of small, I guess. So my plan is to go explore different areas in the Middle East. But yeah, I just love, I want to wear their little outfits. I want to be out in the desert with the camels and just kind of vibe out. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going. We got Egypt.
What
on
else?
The list.
As far as for bucket list, I'm not good at swimming, but I do want to try surfing at least one time. Might have to wear a life vest. I don't even know if that's a thing, but
it is.
I might need to, because I'm not the most
you might have to
skillful when it comes to swimming.
You might have to.
But I do want to try it. I think it would be super fun, and that's a thing. Lived in Utah for 20 plus years.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, but never went snowboarding.
What is Utah like? I remember I was going to ask that, but
yeah, okay. Well, we can talk about Utah.
Only if you want.
Yeah, we can. I have a soft spot for Utah. I obviously grew up there since the age of 5.
You're Utahian, whatever the heck they call them.
Utah.
Utah. You're Utah.
Yeah,
Utah.
I grew up there, and I think it served its purpose in my life, and that's the reason why I moved away. I feel like I just wasn't really growing. I feel like it's such a small area. Everybody knows each other, and that's kind of why I moved away. I've always wanted to live where palm trees are, so Florida. But what's Utah like? So beautiful. I will say, to me, it's the prettiest state, one of them, only because the seasons there really do affect the mountains, which is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Right now it's winter, so the mountains are white and beautiful and snowy.
You low-key like snow. Slightly. You
know what? Now it's a treat because I don't have to live in it. So now it's like for my birthday, I'm traveling to the snow, which is crazy because
makes sense.
Back when I lived in Utah, I would travel to the beach because
to treat.
I wanted
makes sense.
Hot. But now that I'm like, well, not right now because it's freezing, but now that I live in where it's usually really hot, I go celebrate my birthday in the cold.
That makes sense. Because I'm not going to lie, I couldn't put 2 and 2 together at all when I'm looking at the location and you're in like a spring or something. It's like Utah. Like, wasn't she just here last week? And I'm trying to like, it's like, who
Utah is so diverse. So that's the thing is like, you have the mountains depending on when you go. Then you have like the lakes. You can hike, you can snowboard, you can ski, you can go boating, you can go 4-wheeling, you can go ATVing. Like, there's so many outside things. And I feel like that's the beauty of Utah is that every season there's different sports that you can do. Climbing, bouldering, there's different things you can do outside. And I miss hiking. Like, we don't have a lot of that here. There's, like, nature walks, which are cool, but I miss being, like, in the mountains.
Okay. But being here for only 4 years, is that probably the number one thing you would say you miss? Like, hiking, I guess.
Yeah.
How would, like,
Every time I talk to people about Utah, I'm like, it's the most beautiful state. The mountains are gorgeous. You are surrounded by mountains. When you're driving, you see mountains. Here, what do you see when you're driving? Just nothing. It's flat.
I was trying to say something funny, but the city.
Yeah,
the city.
Barely.
A little
Barely.
bit. I mean, in my area.
Tampa has a small city.
Got a good
like
point.
that downtown is really small. So I feel, and again, wherever you live, you're gonna find beauty wherever you live. So I'm happy because at one point, what?
I see what you mean, though.
Yeah, like because at one point I wanted to be here by the beach, and I have that. But then once you have that, you're like, oh, wait, I miss the mountains. So it's like you always want what you can't have. But that's the good thing about traveling, because now you go back, and it's like a treat. You should have seen me last time I went to Utah. It was so crazy. My friends were making fun of me because I was like a little tourist. I was recording the snow falling. Like I hadn't lived there for 20 years.
Okay. Why is it wrong to record that?
It's not wrong, but like they were looking at me like, girl, you
like
acting brand new.
Okay.
Yeah, like you acting like you've never seen snow before. And I'm like, no, but it really is so different because I'm used to just being hot, beach, and that's it. And here it's like the change of like fall in Utah is so gorgeous. Like,
see, I have no clue.
Oh
Honestly,
my gosh.
My only perspective and precipitation. Is that the word?
Perspective?
Perspective.
Precipitation.
I think that's the wrong context. my only perception of Utah. I keep thinking Colorado. My only
It's
perception
similar, but
of Utah is Utah Jazz.
yeah.
And like mountains. That's all I can think of. That's all I can see. But I don't know like
that's good.
much more.
It's better than what a lot of people say when I
What
say
do
I grew
they
up
say?
in Utah.
They say Mormons or something. I didn't. Okay.
That's the first thing I get asked. I'm like, that's stereotypical. I get it, but not everyone that lives there is Mormon.
So I knew nothing of that until Isaiah Wooden from last year, Operation 53 Season 2, Athlete Innovations documentary, that he told me he lived there for like 2, maybe 1 year for college.
Okay.
He went to like Southern Utah University, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just telling me about how the environment was, and there are a lot of Mormons. And so I'm like, what exactly is a Mormon? I have no clue. So I'm not trying to diss somebody's religion, but I just had no clue that was like heavy out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's either you hear about it or you don't know anything about it. So it's valid that you maybe didn't know about it. And
I knew nothing of it. He was just telling me like they're everywhere, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely predominant there. There's a lot of my friends were, and but I don't think that it's like such a thing like a lot of outside people think, like, oh, everybody is Mormon. No, I mean, there's a little bit of everything, but it's just you're gonna see it a lot more there because that's kind of the main point of that religion, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You said it's a diverse state. Do they have
What about me? Well, we're not right now. I need to get on this.
Do they got them there? You know what I'm saying? They have a couple of.
So, I will say, when I grew up there, it was not as
that means no.
diverse as it is now.
Okay. That's good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah. It is definitely so much different than when I grew up there. When I went to school, I was like probably there was like 2 Latinas in class. Everybody else was white. And that's it. Now it's, I mean, I feel like through the years it's changed and it's going to keep getting more diverse. A lot of people are actually moving from California to Utah, from different places to Utah. Like, it's growing. Okay. It used to be kind of smaller. It used to be more like a small, we called it small lake city. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's like small town kind of thing. Now, I don't feel like you can say that. A lot of artists move there. A lot of athletes have moved there. Yeah, Post Malone. Like, I don't know.
That's
I
a Post
can't really.
Malone place. I can see that.
I mean, you could see it.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
I guess it's not saying. But no, a lot of people go to Utah and they love it. They love that it is, you know, there's a lot of good things in Utah. But as far as for diverse, it's getting better. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool to know. Dang, I never thought like, you know, celebrities are. I'm just from again, my perception of the place.
Right.
I know nothing of it. Just the how it could possibly look, and then sports. That's all I really know. That's all
I mean,
know.
I will say it's gotten better. I mean, we wouldn't even get artists playing in Utah. Like, nobody made a stop in Salt Lake City, really. It was like sometimes artists would come and we'd have big concerts. But now I feel like it's like on the map a little bit more.
Cool. That is cool.
Which is good because it's kind of slept on. I will say it's like a nice state. But as far as for diversity and things like that, I don't know. I don't live there anymore. But I have heard that it's gotten better.
Okay, that's good to know. I might take a little trip out there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I tell everybody I know, go to Utah. Absolutely.
Because hopefully I'm not butchering this either. Because I saw a movie last night. I'm a huge movie person. I'm trying to be a movie director. I am a director now, but I want to be, you know, I would like to, long-term goal, get a movie out that does well. I don't want to just make a movie and it tanks. I'm trying to do well, make it like a feature film, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. I didn't know that.
Really?
Awesome.
Oh, shoot. I'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah, you should.
So I go every Tuesday to the movies, pretty much, because it's $6. $6, and then I'm an AMC Stubs member anyway. So I get like perks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I recommend all movie lovers to get it because after I did, you get like free food basically. You get free stuff.
Tell me why popcorn is like $15.
Whoa, okay.
What?
I know now that think about COVID.
Yeah.
Of course it was still somewhat expensive back then, but then the movie theaters don't make profit from the movie. They usually make it from like the sales, ticket sales and food. So when people
they be taxing the food, so I'm sure they're getting money somehow.
Because when distribution services started to come out, they lost it. So they have to like bump up prices just to keep theaters in business.
I'm like, I will go to the dollar store before to get snacks.
We all do that.
Yeah, like if you don't, you just have money to blow like that. And it's not even like that though. It's just like it makes no sense to me that like the same candy you can get for $1, it's like $6-7. It makes no sense. And it's like, look, I'll buy your little popcorn or whatever, but the candy, I don't even like candy. So it's just like one of those things where it's like, if I want like, I don't know, maybe I'm craving a little bit of something, I'm not spending $7 to just eat a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie to you. Since I watch so many movies, I already know whenever like the time the movie says it's gonna start is 15 or 20-minute previews. So people always eat their snacks before it even starts. So it's like gone. You just kind of ruin the entire thing.
Yeah. But see, I'm not a snacks person like that. You know, road trips, how people are like, go to the gas station, get like snacks. I've just never been like that. And if I do, then I will get snacks I'll probably get made fun of to get like coconut water and like peanuts or like
keep going,
you know, stuff like that. It's kind of like the first conversation we ever had. You're like, well, what do you like to eat?
No, don't do that.
First of all,
I wasn't gonna bring that up at all, but now you start talking about it.
First of all, the thing about me, I like what I like, and I'm not about to go get no Doritos if I don't even like Doritos. So I mean,
say it. Stand on business.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get my pistachios and coconut water for the road trip.
Period. Pooh. No, but what kind of snacks do you like? Because you said you get made fun of them.
Yeah, sometimes people are like, you know, we go to the gas station or we go to the movies or somewhere like that, and people just go crazy over a Slurpee or the freaking Doritos or what do people get? Candies and, you know, all those like Starburst and Skittles and all that. I've just not liked that since I can remember.
That's actually great. Like, you have no clue yet. Because I kid you not, the older that I'm getting, I'm 25. I have changed my eating habits simply because I don't even feel good eating certain stuff for a long time. So, like, I've already cut out fast food whatsoever. Fast food gives me heartburn, so I already can't eat that, you know? But
and you just feel like heavy and just like, and the more you know, the more you don't. This is how I explain it to people, because some people are like, "Oh, you're so picky," da da da, and it's like,
that's okay.
am I picky, or is it? And that's okay.
You're mindful.
I'm particular and mindful, because to me, how do I feel good? I don't feel good knowing what's in this food and knowing how my body's gonna feel, because I've gotten my body used to this lifestyle. It's been years, so all of a sudden, you know, and I'm not saying I'm like by the book all the time. Don't get me wrong. The other day I went to freaking pick up a freaking molten lava cake from Chili's at freaking before they closed, because I was craving it. Like, and my friend was like,
Was it good?
It was so good. And he was like, yo, like, who is she? And I'm over here like, yeah, who is she? Because I don't do that. But I feel like you should always honor your body when you're craving something, but also know.
Don't say that.
Yeah, no, not always. Not always, because some people, again, to an excess, they take it. But as for me, because I'm not used to it, whenever I do have that sudden craving, I'll do it. Because it's once in a blue moon that I will crave it.
Not often. It's not like black
It's not every day, no.
They get a sweet treat every other day.
Yeah. And it's like, I think through the years I've just known how that is for me. So, yeah, when I eat Doritos, I'm like, this tastes fake. Okay. Pringles taste like cardboard. Like, and it's nasty. Like, to me, my palate is just different, because you get used to it. And I promise you go without sugar for 20 days or whatever. You come back and you have that, you know, Slurpee or whatever it is that you like. You're not going to like it. And your body's going to be like, ew.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, even, because I stopped by accident eating a lot of sugar. And so when I had, it was like Skittles gummies. They're fire. So I had them. I don't know what it was. I started to pass out. I think it was because my body wasn't used to like breaking that down. I guess I haven't had it in a while. So I think it was maybe just the crash was like super hard. So I just remember that feeling of like, yo, I can't even keep my eyes open right now, and I've slept well and everything. What happened? It was definitely that. So I would start to experiment. Like, okay, let me eat this and see how I feel. And I'm like eating the foods that I would normally eat in like college. And I just don't feel well, or I want to go to sleep, you know, or I'm tired in the next like couple hours. I'm like, I can't, because I do a lot in a day. I was recording all morning before I came here. You know what I'm saying? So even after this, I got another shoot.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Yeah.
So I need to eat stuff that's actually like gonna keep me going. So I be eating hella steak. I love
steak. Is good.
Love steak. Steak. I dabble with some broccoli and green beans and whatnot.
I had steak and broccoli last night. So.
Really? I eat a lot of eggs.
And I had eggs and potatoes this morning.
Do you like eggs? Eggs is cool?
I mean, honestly, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I go in waves. Like, I like eggs, but sometimes I'm like, it smells too eggy. Like, it smells too, like, too I don't know. Yeah, like, sometimes I get weird even with chicken. Like, you know when chicken smells too chickeny?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of like that. Smells kind of mess things up for me.
I got you. A little too raw.
Yeah, a little bit too, like, too much going on.
I got you. I feel that. That's maybe me with fish.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that.
The actual smell of fish?
Yeah, no, I like it, but yeah, sometimes it just be too fishy. Ooh.
Going back to Utah, though. So...
Get this man out to Utah, somebody, please.
Please, I'll take a flight. Find me out, please. I'm playing, but I'm not playing. But I would love to travel there, because in the summer I have like a hit list. I just want to travel in the summer, so I'm literally saving just for that. But what I was saying,
the whole West Coast,
really?
West Coast area, yeah, absolutely.
I gotta get over there. LA's on my list.
I don't know about now.
Not now, no. Summer.
Yeah.
Really? Not even for like media stuff? It's like, that's what I was going to tell you, because I'm, you know, in the movies and whatnot.
Well, absolutely, yeah, so, but like right now after the fires.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe we should kind of wait on that until they get back up on their
Totally forgot about that. Yeah. We are blessed. Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, really bad.
I was going to say, I saw the movie Wolfman yesterday, and so I can't remember if it was in Colorado or Utah. Mm-hmm. But the point was, one of the main characters was saying to his family, like, I think you should come with me back to, like, the home that he grew up in. And it was somewhere on the West Coast. And he was saying the reason why is because there's like some valley that you stand there and just look at like the mountains and the trees and all the agriculture, and it makes you feel like everything's okay. So that's what he said. And so there was like two, I'm about to geek out. There was two specific shots of like the entire landscape of, of that area, from the west. I do not remember what it was, but that's just all that I kind of think of Utah. It was really nice. It was like a cool, calm, big trees, like huge trees, woods, land, sky was like all these cool clouds and whatnot.
I mean, that's literally what you feel like when you're hiking up there. That's why I like it. You're this little thing in such a big place, like, and it is that. You look out once you're, to the top or whatever, and you look out and you're like, this is amazing. And it does give you that kind of clarity or whatever you just described.
Can hiking get dangerous?
As far as for like animals and stuff, I never experienced it, but I know that there's like snakes and there's bobcats and stuff like that. I'm sure different animals, but I think for the most part, the animals stay away because there's so many people hiking.
Can you fight off a bobcat? I'm only asking
you think my little self can fight?
Okay. So
come on now. I've never even been in a fight, let alone freaking... let alone fight a freaking wild animal.
I'm only asking because my friend Zash, again, they're half Colombian. No, I think she's Dominican. At this point,
you better put some respect on wherever she's from.
Facts. She's definitely South American completely and Puerto Rican. But as a kid, she used to throw rocks at bobcats. I'm like, what are you doing? Throwing rocks at bobcats.
I mean, it's the same girl you said that just like runs when she's injured. Okay,
yep,
well,
she's just known her for 10 years though.
Yeah.
So we've been friends for that long, taking friendship serious, So I was just asking. Because she's also like 5'4", 5'6". She's like short, but she has no fear.
Yep, clearly. What?
So I was asking, would you be able to fight off a bobcat? No,
I don't think so. I mean, I would try my hardest. I feel like survival, but no, I would never want to be in that position. Like, what? Absolutely not. I don't think that that's like a common thing out there. But again, you never know when they decide to come out.
Okay. Do you like movies?
I'm not a big movie person.
Okay. Because I was just going to tell you about the directing thing and all that stuff.
Well, tell me about it. I'm interested to know, but I'm not big into movies. I'm not big into shows.
That's okay.
Like, I'm not big into...
Yeah, that's good. I know you don't watch TV. That's cool. So I got into it, honestly, since a kid, just because the experience that I had when I was like 7, watching Transformers, that was like a pretty interesting experience for me, but also... it was the camaraderie of my neighbors. So since obviously we didn't grow up with like the technology that we have now, we were always like playing outside, or whenever it gets to nighttime and it's like the weekend or we don't have like soccer practice.
The VHS.
Not even that, but just like we'd go over to each other's houses and play in the basements and stuff like that. But we'd always have like the same movies on.
Yeah.
Like we can't play.
Like I said, the VHS was always on replay.
Like we can't play unless a movie's playing. So those movies were definitely like the building blocks of a lot of how I started to understand how movies work, because I started to get curious of like, how come we watch this movie and we can never actually meet those characters in real life animation?
Right.
And how come Spider-Man is like flying from wall to wall, but like you can't actually like shoot web? It's like all these things.
Well, we can't do it, yeah.
There you go. I'm getting curious. But then also the DVDs at the time, they had those special, they had all these different behind the scenes and other stuff you could watch. Deleted scenes,
I remember.
all that stuff. So I'm watching all of that to where I just think it's so
At
cool.
the end, I remember,
There you go. And so I think it was when I hit like 12, I was like, okay, I'm noticing that a lot of movies are coming out each week, but how, where, and why are they making these? Most of the time I'm thinking of like where, because they're coming out so fast. Where are they making these? You don't ever see them being made, So I'm really starting to get curious. And then I've noticed most of my childhood TV shows or books are getting turned into movies. I'm like, what? Like, who's coming up with these ideas? Like, how do they know when to do this? Now I'm obsessed because I'm going to Best Buy. I'm looking at TVs where it goes from those big box TVs to
Yep.
flat screens. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh shoot, like this is changing. The quality's up now. It's in 4K. It's clearer than my eyesight and stuff like that. So I just started to get obsessed because I used to watch a lot of behind the scenes on my iPad, like YouTube, and all the different directors. I really liked how you can see how someone thinks if you actually paid attention to it. So depending on a movie, you would tell who directed it based off of how certain shots look, how it actually makes you feel, the colors that are being used, the cameras that are being used. So it's like all of that stuff that people that are like into cinema and film pay attention
Can you
to.
pick? Yeah, I'm
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
wouldn't know, but you definitely can.
So like it's funny because even with JE, we'll watch a movie and we'll have two different perspectives,
Yeah.
and he won't understand what I'm trying to say because he's never like picked up a camera before,
Right.
or like he's just never watched it from my point of view.
Perspective,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So like I always understand how he'll see it, but trying to explain how I see it, being the person
It's a
that
little
made
hard.
it,
Yeah.
there you go. So it's just so funny. This was like anyone.
That's interesting. That's super interesting. Yeah, I think a lot of that can be missed if we're just like myself. It's just there to enjoy the movie.
There you go.
I think that a lot of us don't really pay attention to those details because that's not something we've looked into. But you have a different perspective because you took the time to actually look into it.
The appreciation for like cinema across all platforms are extremely high because I know how much work it actually takes, months at a time just for a couple hours on the screen, just for someone to be like, I didn't like it. And I'm like, what?
You're like, wait, did you know how much it takes?
There you go.
Hours.
So that's just how I start to, that's how I see it now. So I'll go every Tuesday, mainly because, funny enough, because when I played soccer, my dad would make me watch all these different soccer players. I thought of legends you might not even know of.
Oh, just throw them out.
Ronaldinho?
Pues sí.
You have to.
Yeah.
JJ Okocha. That's okay. Pele.
Pele, sí. Yeah.
Have to. Maradona.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going back in my mental.
I mean, those are just like...
Zidane.
No. It's almost just like if you don't know who Ronaldo is, it's like, what are you doing? Okay. Because you just, even if you don't watch soccer,
the
you know
Brazilian one or Cristiano?
Cristiano.
Okay. I'm thinking of the Brazilian one too. Like anyone behind like the 2000s, I was watching them.
Okay.
And I was like forced to watch them all the time.
Yeah.
So all the skill moves and stuff that they were doing, I would try to do that in game or just practice them. So I basically just stole that and do it with movies, and it worked. So it's like if I watch something a certain amount of times, especially when I'm going through life, my perspective of life's gonna grow and change. So is my perception of the same movie that I've watched 10 times.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So like that's just what I like because I could pick whatever from the same thing, and I watch a lot of movies.
What's your favorite genre? Is it genre or genre?
Genre, yeah.
Genre.
Same thing.
Yeah. Okay. I like saying genre.
Let's just go heat dark. So I listen to a lot of like comedy. I watch a lot of comedy because growing up for a while was just very sad for me. So like I know I got dark quick, but yeah, like I was not in the best place mentally. High school.
Yeah. So, we've all been there.
Pretty much. But like for majority of
rough times. There
you go. So like I like comedy a lot at the time because it was just like a different mood of the day. Like
absolutely.
What I mean? Yeah, but definitely now I like psychological thrillers, stuff that actually makes you think. You have to actually pay attention or you'll miss something. Love that stuff.
Like the only one that comes to mind, and this might not even be, but Split. Is that one?
That's a good one. That's a decent one.
I love that movie because I feel like I like psychology and I like the idea of the multiple personalities and how they portrayed that. And I think he's a great actor or whatever. But the ending really had me messed up.
Which one, the first?
Yeah. I'm like, what kind of ending is this? He's over here climbing through the walls and like that. They just, I feel like maybe I missed it, but I feel like they had me all up in that movie, like obsessed with it up until the last 5 minutes where he starts going crazy on the walls, and I'm like, all right, you lost me, because I don't like movies like that. I like what is it? Fiction? Wait, no, nonfiction. What is it?
Nonfiction is real. I'm pretty sure fiction is
nonfiction. Real. I like real things. I don't like the climbing on walls type of thing. So
I see what you're saying.
Up until then, it was real and something that would actually happen if you have multiple personality disorder. And I'm like, wow, this is a cool depiction of it. And then all of a sudden, it's like he's just going
up the walls.
I'm like, okay, you lost me.
I think that's exactly why they did it, though. Was the
twist?
Even you saying that, I would have not never, but I didn't think of it like that at first. I wouldn't have seen it from that way at first. So now hearing it, I'm like, wow, that I understand how that makes it real for that community of people who maybe love psychology in that way and see it through a psychological lens.
Yeah, because they did a great job. I was like so into it, and I was like, oh my gosh, great. This is like awesome. They're talking about it. But then the end, I was like, yeah. Like, you lost me, because I don't like movies like that.
I get it. But even like, that's what I love about movies in general, because from whatever lens or perspective you're watching it from, you're also going to like get the main idea of the movie in your own way. So since it's called Split, you watched the Split. The Split for you was when everything changed. Even so, for me, obviously, I know it's called Split because it's split personalities, and that's all I'm looking at the main character as. You know?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. It was a good movie. Hilarious. At times.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's just because it's just maybe not the movie hilarious, but like the memes from it, like it's not me, it's Patricia. Like I always do that. If you know me, I'm always gonna like say that at some point. It wasn't me, it was Patricia. But if you know, you know.
Oh.
You know.
I got
like it wasn't me. I wasn't hangry. That was Patricia.
Okay, yeah, that was funny. I like the kid personality that he had.
Yeah, and then the second one I couldn't get into. What was the second one called? I don't know. I didn't like
Glass, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's, again, it became way too fake and just not really why I liked the first one.
That makes sense.
So.
Take notes, Universal.
Again, there's so many movies to see that there's a lot to pick from. And
I think now I know that Parasite might actually be a really good movie for you since you like real stuff.
Parasite.
Yeah. So it's about, don't want to butcher the actual country. If I'm just saying Asian family. I think it's like Korean. I'm not going to butcher it. But it takes place in Asia, somewhere over there, where I'm trying to not spoil it. It gives you the perspective of like a poor family, and they're basically scammers. And so it takes you like POV of how possibly a scammer family could try to scam like rich people. But there's a huge twist that gets everybody because you don't expect it at all. Like, and
I love a good plot twist.
It's real world stuff. Because like when I was watching it, my roommate at the time was so excited that I was even watching it. And he kept staring at me, like, bouncing. He was like, I can't wait.
He's like, I can't wait for you to see it.
And so while I'm watching it, the switch happens. And he's just giggling. Because at first, I'm really good at predicting movies. So I've been watching them since I was 7, you know? Like, really paying attention since I was 7. So when I'm watching them, I'm like, I already know what's going to happen. Then it happens, and I'm like, oh, now I gotta change how I'm sitting. And it's like, it was really a good movie. So probably my top 10 movies.
Really?
To be honest.
Is it like a thriller, or is it, what kind of like movie would you say? Action? No, I don't know.
Straight thriller. There's not really much like action in it. It's more of like you have to follow the story first. Again, it's one of those movies where you gotta pay attention to each detail, because once the switch happens, you'll realize there's some details you may have missed that were probably
you
in
might
your
be
face.
lost.
Exactly.
Oh.
So it's one of those movies you gotta watch again. There you go. So yeah, what genre do you like? Do you have a favorite genre?
I mean, it depends on my mood. I do love stand-up comedy a lot. But again, like I said, to be fair, I don't watch TV anymore like that. So don't be asking me who my favorite anything is, because I'm gonna tell you old movies. Okay.
Would that be another activity you would do?
I'd rather go to a comedy show in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. There's plenty out here, like across the street.
Yeah. I've been to the one over here. I forgot what it's called.
Funny Bone.
So I like comedy. I like chick flicks, obviously. And I like just like real like heartwarming movies, you know, like I don't know, even like John Q. I mean, I know that's like old one, but like those type of like I don't know, the ones that make me want to cry because it's like real life stuff sometimes. Yeah.
I got 2 more questions before we're finished.
Okay.
So, if you're on a date.
Oh boy.
And you are watching a movie, right? Watching a movie, but it is a heartfelt movie. Like, it's a heartfelt movie. And he starts tearing up. What, like, are you getting the ick or, like, you know what I'm saying? How you feeling? Are men allowed to cry watching heartfelt movies, in your opinion?
In my opinion, absolutely. Why not?
Why do you think?
You know, I think a lot of people would say right off the bat, like, you know, oh my gosh, he's crying during a movie. But to be honest, I mean, it depends. Is he ugly crying or is he tearing up? You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, no, to keep it 100% with you, my dad growing up, he's very, I mean, he would be the one crying in a movie if it needed to, if it like tugged his heartstrings. So to me, I don't think I look at that any type of way like an ick unless he is ugly crying. And it's like, what are you doing? You're kind of like being OD.
That's too much.
That's too much, obviously. But if he is like, you know, feeling something, if it reminds him of something, like we've all been there, we watch a movie and it kind of does something to us. Yeah, what's the difference if he's a man? Like,
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, and that's my perspective on it. I think that it's
because that'd be me. I'd be tearing up.
I think, you know, I don't know in this day and age what, you know, but as far as for me, I think that men are fine to cry. They should cry, and if they don't, then you know we need to work on that. We need to talk about it. We need to let some things go.
Because I only ask because I just recently started. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. 2023 November. It sounds so weird to say. I feel like I got my feelings back because I didn't know that I was so like, you know what cognitive dissonance is? Or functional freeze.
Yeah.
I was in that for so long.
Oh wow.
I didn't know. So when I kind of like just started feeling fully again, it punched me in the back of the head. So like,
okay.
So I started kind of watching the movies that I already knew, but I couldn't fully feel them. So there's most of the movies.
You're like numb.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was really weird realizing like, oh shoot, like I'm kind of like normal again, and I didn't feel that for a while. So, and me saying that to people, not knowing that they obviously didn't know, but like functional freeze and cognitive dissonance, all that stuff.
Yeah.
With narcissists.
A lot of people don't really know. Yeah.
I had no clue myself until I had to do all that research, you know. But the movies that I would watch with a lot of like anger and trauma, I'm tearing up, or I'm just like sitting there and like I could feel the floodgates.
The emotion,
yeah. Because I'm like, I don't even know what I'm feeling right now, but I feel understood.
Yep.
Yeah. So those are the times, even now, where I like.
That's growth. That's good. I
can't help it.
Yeah, no, that's good. I feel like, you know what, the older I get and the more, you know, life just happens, the more I get it. Like I'm like my mom now, and she tears up about a lot of things. And when I was younger, I'm like, you know, people call it emotional or whatever, but it's like, actually, no, I think whenever I'm like the closest to God, whenever I'm the most fulfilled, whenever I'm the most feeling good is when I'm the most emotional. And like I'll be driving and I'll listen to like a good song and I'll just be crying. I'm not sad, but I'm grateful and I'm happy. So I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. And then also too, like I feel like that's just when you're kind of like in sync with your own emotions, and it is good to feel those things. It's worse when you've been there, when you don't feel.
Bro.
I've been there too, when you're just numb and you're like, I want to cry. I probably should cry, but I can't.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I think what was crazy, because sometimes I have like snapshot moments where the last one I remember was I was in Italy with a volleyball team that I used to work for. And so there's the entire room is in tears because like the coach is like last couple of years. But I'm just sitting there. I don't even feel like in the moment. So I was like kept questioning myself. Am I supposed to be sad right now? Like I don't know.
Everybody else is.
Yeah, everyone else is like their hearts are hurting, and I'm just here like, you know. And I think it was like months later, I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't feel, and it just was crazy to just keep saying it over and over. Like I couldn't feel. Like how long could I not just feel feelings for? Like what? Like so many other people are probably going through this, and I'm like, then I start.
And they don't even think, especially I'm sure from a man's perspective, a lot of men think that that is normal, and maybe that's how they were raised. That's what they were told.
That's how they're raised.
I think that's such an old perspective, and I hope that people are changing that perspective because we need men that feel. We need men that actually acknowledge
Emotionally available.
Yeah, and emotionally available, but acknowledge feelings because as a woman, I mean, I've talked to men and they can't grasp what I'm feeling because they can't even feel those feelings for themselves. So how would they understand how I'm feeling? Mm-hmm. We need men that are open emotionally, not only for themselves and their problems, but like for us too.
Yeah, companionship.
Yeah.
Last question, because we low-key do go over. But that means you have fun.
Hey.
If for the cookout question.
Oh, boy.
This is part 2. Who would you bring?
Who would I bring to the cookout?
Who would you bring to the cookout?
Like an artist or just like anybody?
Anybody. I don't even have to know him.
You know what? I don't know. I'm going to go with the first thing that came to mind just because, like, I mean, I'm going to bring my best friend. Cool. Rihanna.
Why?
I feel like I would really like her energy. And just like every single time I see a clip of her, even now, like, she's just fun. She's doing her own thing. She does what she wants to do. She's funny. Like, again, I don't know her. Okay. But the videos I see of her, she's dancing, she's laughing, she's doing her own thing. I would love to bring her to the cookout. Okay.
Ronnie, if you hear this, please come to PickApart Podcast. I would love
Please. Take me out.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. Rihanna.
Yeah, okay. I've always liked her, you know. I feel like people that are authentic and kind of like confident and stuff like that, 10 out of 10. And I feel like she
embodies it.
She embodies that. And I love that for her. And I love to be around people like that.
Noted.
Rihanna to the cookout.
Noted. Yeah, but thank you again, Danny, for doing this. We can come whenever you would like.
Oh, let me know. I'm here.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Good to know.
Yeah. One for the